Hi, welcome to the support page. I'm really glad you came here. That shows you've got that commitment. It may also show that you're having a bit of a struggle, but that's fine because that's life. Very rarely do things just progress in a linear fashion. We take a step forward, a half a step back, and so forth. So I want to run through a few ideas for you to help you. They're all listed below this video as well. And the first of those is ask why 3 times. This is really important. And here's an example. You might say to yourself, well, why do I want to do this program? And the answer could be, I want to have less pain, or I want to lose weight, or whatever your reasons are. I want to be healthier. And so that's your first why. And that's a reasonable reason, but it's not powerful enough. So you simply ask, well, why would I want to lose weight, if that's the example? Well, I want to have more energy. I want to feel better about myself. I want to do this. I want to go to this reunion and look great. And now we're getting closer. And that's a bit more momentum to keep you going. But then you simply ask, well, why would I want to look great? Why would I want to turn up looking good? Why would I want to feel better? And when we dig for this answer, when we get to the end, and you don't have to stop asking it 3 whys, you can go on beyond there. But what we're trying to get to is a really core feeling within you, something really deep within you that will make a difference. That when you wake up of a morning and you think about it, it will drive you on for the rest of the day to just keep sticking to the program. So take some time with this, revisit it. It's like a series of peaks in a mountain chain. And you get to the first peak, and that's your first why, then the second, then the third. And what we want is we want the absolute summit, the summit reason why you're doing this. And that's the reason, that's what will drive you on. That's what will excite you to do the program and say, yes, I'm doing this every day, and this is why, and I'm feeling like this. But also bring that feeling into the now. Don't leave that feeling, for 3 months down the track, if that's how long it's going to take, or 6 months, or 12 months, or 1 month. Bring that feeling into the now. I'm doing this for this reason, and I choose to feel like that now. Very important. If you do have a blowout, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big disaster. It's life. Again, if we were looking at a chart, charts go up and down in the stock market, as we know, and so it's just one of those things. So you want your weight to come down, and there's a bit of a glitch because you had a blowout. Now, if that blowout was a special event and you know it's one-off, there's no big deal, no harm done. But if it was really more stress-based, well, ask yourself, what made you do that? What were those circumstances? Then you can create an if-then scenario in your mind. If this happens again, then I will do this. And this way you prepare yourself for various events, various situations, various upsets, because sure as eggs, things will happen to us. We know that. Now the third one is when we do have a setback, I don't like to use the word failure, but we fail to continue in the path we're going. We're getting a certain amount of feedback on that. Really identify what that looks like. How, if you were to write it, you could even write a sentence. When I fall off the wagon, or when I really have a big problem, this is how it feels. This was the emotion that was connected to it. Really identify that. But then I want you to write then, what does success feel like? What does staying on the program feel like? What does having had a successful day, or even a successful meal, or a successful week feel like? What does that do for you? What does that how does that affect you at a deep level? Perhaps it builds your confidence. Take time over this as well. This is really important. You want to know how it feels like, that success feeling, and carry that feeling with you. That's very important. The fourth is ask for support. Now, we don't always get support from those around us when we're trying to do something, especially if we're achieving. And if they may look at it and go, oh, this is a load of rubbish, such and such says this won't work. Well, what we do know is the old models don't work. The old models of calories in, calories out doesn't work, and the old models of eat less, exercise more doesn't work. It's failed generations of people. But we know there's about 15 years of solid data and many studies showing this system works. Simple as that. But ask for support from the right people. Find those people in your life. Now, it may be that, on the Facebook page, you might find people there. So we have a Roadmap Facebook page. You're welcome to come there and make some comments, and you might find support there. But it is important. 5, this is an early thing, but people often don't do it quickly, is clean out your fridge and your pantry. Or if you're outside of Australia, it's a refrigerator and your pantry. All of those sweet sauces, you won't need them anymore, and rices and pastas and so forth. This is on the assumption that everybody in your household will be doing this, or it's just you. If there are people who aren't doing this, well, it'll be different. They can use what they like. If they want to put sauce on their meal, they can put sauce on their meal. But remember, pretty much everything in a tin or a can or a packet is simply an industrialized processed food which will not serve you any good at all. 7 is set time and weight targets. Now, I keep referring back to weight gain, even though I started this program for myself to do with pain, joint pain, and it was very successful in that regard. And I set the initial target of time because I had no idea how much time it would take to get the result. And so I set the 30 days, and if you've read any of the blogs, and I've set out the whole 4 weeks you can go to the blog page and find those, of my journey across those 30 days and what it felt like. So I had a set time, 30 days, blood tests either end, great results, but I started to feel better within a few days, and that gave me some encouragement. Now, when you start this, you don't necessarily experience rapid change in the first few days. In the first few days, you may just feel annoyed because you're not eating muffins or cakes or sauces or sweet things that you like. So set the targets, and the targets across the month. Remember, the first month, it's an exploration process. It's a let's do this, 97%, and allowing a little bit of leeway, and see what happens, and just measure along the way. So it's important, but when you continue, then you can set your goals. Always remember, they have to be realistic and achievable, and particularly with weight loss. And everything changes over time. If you start with, a lot of pain, and you get to 30 days and you've only got this much, well, your next 30 days won't necessarily half. It might be a slow incremental change. It's a little bit like the half-life idea in science. And the same with weight. When you first start losing weight, that's when you can lose the most weight if you have a lot to lose. But then because you're not carrying it around, because your whole body and your metabolism is changing, that slows down. It's just a natural thing. And because each month you'll be losing a percentage of your body weight, you can't keep losing. If the first percentage was 10 kilos, well, the next percentage in the same time can't be 10 kilos. It will change. Okay, now here's a really important one, I think. And this is regarding, well, this is for everybody, because everybody's taking sugar out of their diet and all those sweet things and the sauces and so forth, is where are you finding some sweetness in your life? Where are you finding those things that just make your day special? Is it, with a loved one or a friend or a family member? Is it watching a funny movie or even a chick flick? Or is it just doing something special for yourself, something you've wanted to do? Anything other than eating something sweet. So look for the sweetness in your life. Look for opportunities to bring sweetness into your life. The last on this list of advice to help to keep you on track is to do with coaching and why we have coaching. So if you can click on the link at the end of that sentence below, and it'll take you to the coaching page. I can support you in any way you need, whether it's in the dietary process itself or whether it's more extensive, whether it's to do with stress management, emotional resistance, anything that comes up. I can help. My background is I'm a naturopath, hypnotherapist. I have a very keen interest in dietetics, nutrition, and stress management. And so I've learned a lot of things along the way. And one of the things I specialize in doing is finding stuff that works, strategies that work for every person. So I wish you all the best. Come back to this page periodically, get yourself a boost, find that person to support you in your life, find that sweetness, identify those whys, clean out the fridge so the temptations aren't there. And the other thing connected to cleaning out the fridge is when you go out. Now, again, if you go to the blog page, there'll be blogs written around these topics about eating when you're traveling and eating when you're going out and all sorts of things. Plan in advance. Think about what you're going to have and don't suddenly arrive and go, oh my God, I can't eat anything. I've gone to a pasta restaurant. Who would have thought they only sell pasta? Well, maybe you're going to have to go to an Italian restaurant where they sell other dishes, some meat dishes, and so forth. It's the if and then scenario. If I go out to dinner for an Indian, then I know I will maybe just have a couple of tablespoons of rice, a little bit of naan bread. If I go out for a Chinese meal, well then I'll avoid all those sweet sauces because there's a lot of sugar in those sauces. And I'll keep the rice, either not have rice or keep it down to a bare minimum. There's always a way, and it's easier. And an increasing number of cafes have paleo desserts. Whilst this is not a paleo process per se, the paleo desserts don't have sugar or grains in them, and they don't have dairy either. And some of them, the snacks, I've had some I tend to test drive. If I find one in a cafe, I'll tend to have it just to see. And some of them are really good, and some of them are like eating bricks. But you'll discover these things along the way. Great. All the best. I'm Ian Newton.